Hello everyone and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where we launched little green guys into space, or hopefully. In the last episode, I went over a bunch of the beginner stuff, explained why Pokemon wasn't coming to my channel quite yet, or why it will be soon, had our first launch, and did some science, because science is exactly what we need. Anyway, we have some money, so if I wanted to, I could upgrade missions, but I don't really want to do that. I'm okay with doing only 2 missions per flight. What I really want to do is upgrade the astronaut complex as soon as possible, and then R&D as soon as possible. I really don't remember R&D taking that much for the first upgrade, because doing the soil samples is extremely good way to get science. But anyway, we're going back to these missions, and we have a new altitude mission, which is great. We have a test this in flight, which is very easy to do, and I will probably do that. The radial engine, which is very easy to do, but it's pretty high up. I haven't flown that high yet, so I want to, put that off. Same thing with testing these stacked decouplers. This one wants you to test it while in orbit, and same thing with this one. And those are not going to happen yet, because I think I can get into orbit right now, but I don't want to yet. This one wants me to test the radial decouplers at 14,000 feet. I could probably do that. These are visual survey missions, and these are kind of tough to do, especially in the beginning before you have easy access to space planes, because they require you to fly over a certain area and take a crew report. And if you're not over the area almost exactly, it just takes a report of the biome and you don't get the mission done. Now, to get these missions done, you really have to get with every single parameter. Like this one, you need to be a Kerbin flying at least 80 meters per second, at least 4,200 meters. So let's see. Now I think I want to do something where I trade my reputation for science, and I don't know what my reputation's at right now. So let's go to these contracts. And I need 288 to start that up. I could do this, but I don't want to. I don't even know what my reputation is, because I can see my money, I can see my science. I guess this is my reputation here. I gotta get it pretty high up to start that, so. What we are going to do is, that one's a little bit tough to do. Mark 16 parachute is the one I've already tested, so we know it works. I just need to get to 8,900 at a speed of at least 210 meters per second. I don't know if it needs to be deployed at that height, which is impossible because it will only let you deploy the parachute at 6,000 meters or higher. So we're going to go with testing the liquid fuel engine. Jesus, that gives you so little money. And yeah, these testing missions really do not give you a lot of money. Not unless they're actually pretty difficult. And we might as well try this mission for the radial mount parachute. Now, it's important to build your ships, excuse me as I rearrange myself on the chair, with the mission in mind. So we are going with the command module again, because we need it. And we're going with the Mark 16 parachute, because we need it. And we are going to put these mystery goo containers on here, because I might be able to get some science from them. And one of these, so I can do crew reports and be able to send them off. I did not want ×2 symmetry on that. To lower the symmetry of an object, the shortcut is Shift-X. Boom. And I still don't have access to batteries because I don't have electrics yet, but I do have these, which are going to be useful, and all of these, which are all going to be very useful. Alright, so I need to get to 8,000 feet. So to do this, I am going to use 2 of these FT-40 fuel tanks, even though it's probably a little bit more than I need. And this, the LV909. What is my weight? My mass is 6.2 tons, and this thing has a thrust where it can lift 50 tons. So my thrust-to-weight ratio is about 5. Now, there's an easy way to check this. It requires a mod called Kerbal Engineer, where it'll show you the stuff as you build it. In addition, if I had unlocked it in the skill tree, I have MechJeb, another mod, and that would also show me my thrust-to-weight ratio if I checked myself in the Delta V stats. Delta V is pretty complicated. I'm not going to get into it. A lot of this stuff is pretty complicated. I'm not going to want to get into it. Anyway, these winglets will provide stability. Yeah, 3 of them on for the best feature. You can add 4 if you want, but it's not really necessary to add the 4th in. And that should be it. And let's go ahead and give Sonrad some work. It's going to be tough to control this thing, but I think I'll be able to do it. In addition, I'm also going to show you, I can't yet because I haven't upgraded this, but there's something called action groups, which are extremely useful. Again, with me not starting my timer. Last time I just eyeballed the time and I just happened to get lucky. I want these videos to be a bit longer because you have to do quite a lot in Kerbal Space Program, including building ships and stuff, so I want my videos to be around 25 minutes long, even though retention at that is pretty bad. Mine was 26 minutes long or so the other time, but that's because I added that cool little intro. Alright, we're going to do this. I could have added something to stabilize myself at launch, but I don't really think I need it. Okay, we are here, and we're going to start at maximum throttle. We need to, according to this, we need to be at least 42,000, testing this at least 8 meters per second. And I just wanted to minimize that. And for this, we need to be at 89,000 when we deploy the parachute. I completely forgot to add a decoupler to this, and that's a bad thing. So I'm going to go ahead and revert the flight. Actually, what was my money before this? I'm not going to revert the flight. I'm going to see if just straight up recovering the vehicle actually gives me extra money. Yeah, it does. I actually have more money now. That's kind of weird. I could do that to cheat money if I wanted to, but no. I completely forgot to add a decoupler to this. Now, I could land this whole thing, but it would require me adding additional parachutes. But you know what? I do have those radial mount parachutes. I will do that. Because the 700 I spend on these radial mount parachutes, I will more than make up for in saving money. So 2 of these things should be fine. Stowed, fully deployed drag is 500, and this one's fully deployed drag is 500. So 3 of those should be sufficient to keep this stable. So not even going to bother saving it. This is a testing vehicle. I don't save testing vehicles. I only save vehicles I actually plan on launching. So, Sonrad Kerbin. This is a mistake because this engine's at full throttle and it's not lifting. So I should probably use a more powerful engine. This is great. This is so great. An observation for the launch pad. I got free science from this. Okay, well, I need a more powerful engine because I forgot about the mass of the fuel that I'm lifting. So might as well just recover this, get some free science. Yep, free science. My money did not increase. So, gonna have to use a more powerful engine. I don't think I'm actually going to use a more powerful engine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2 solid fuel boosters onto here. And also show you guys the decoupler. So let's go ahead and put 2 of these on. And you see this? This is staged. So now, when my engine fires, these things will burst off. Along with whatever's on them, which is solid fuel boosters. Now, the reason I don't like solid fuel boosters as opposed to, say, a standard engine is the fact that... Let me go ahead and add decouplers onto here, actually. So that way I can jettison this stuff. There we go. So, these are going to decouple at the same time as all these engines fire. And then, okay. So, the reason I don't like solid fuel boosters generally as opposed to engines is that you cannot shut down a solid fuel booster. But they do have a better thrust to weight ratio as opposed to anything else. This thing has 215 thrust for 125 mass. This thing has 250 for 3. Actually, that's not too good. But the globe ones added by KW Rocketry have very efficient thrust to mass ratio. Almost just slightly under 1. So, if you want efficient solid rocket boosters, you go with the ones from KBW. Alright, let's go ahead and do this again. Are we ready? Throttle all the way up. Boom! Now this is difficult because I have to keep this stable myself. Because this guy does not have access to SAS, so I am doing all the maneuvering manually. Granted, it's not a lot of maneuvering, but it is enough to make me worry. Alright, now that I'm in the air, hopefully the thrust from this little engine will be enough. I've already got the mission for that one complete now. Oh! Now you can see where manually controlling stability is difficult. Now my speed's falling, but I am at the right height. Or it should be. Come on. No, I'm not. I wasn't going fast enough when I deployed to shoot. Crap. Ah, well. Can I do goo? I believe I've already done it flying over this section. Alright, what I'm going to do is aim toward the water. Oh boy. I forgot just how difficult this thing is to control. Now, I want you to aim for the water. Go for the water. Go for the water. Go for the water. The yaw is not helping. Water! Go to the water! Nope, nope, you're going the wrong way. Yeah, you're going the wrong way. Go to the water! I can get science in the water! Goo! Go to the water! Am I above the water yet? I should be near the water at least. Because, no, oh. If you touch down in the water, you can do more science there, so... This is tough with a scientist. I definitely prefer when I have SAS. Yeah. Anytime I feel myself starting to lose control, I just cut the engine. It's a very simple thing. Like when you're practicing driving and you start to feel like you're not doing quite as well as you would like. One thing my instructor hated is when I did the very stupid move of continuing to drive. He always told me, dude, do me a favor, save me a heart attack. If you feel like you're not doing well, hit the brake. Alright, so this should give me a good little jolt at about 500. And... there we go. Got 3 parachutes deployed, and I am under 8 meters per second, so I should be able to land without destroying everything. Go ahead and speed this up, because you don't want to see this. And in any case, I could actually throttle a little bit here and just kill a little bit more velocity. You can actually see the steam coming off the water from the acceleration from this engine. There we go. Come in nice and slow, because I don't know what this engine can withstand in terms of crash. There it is. And we tip over. Try to use the torque to roll this thing back, but I think the mystery goo containers will not let me. Which is unfortunate. Let's go ahead and take a crew report from here and send that. And observe the mystery goo for free science. Go on EVA-U. And immediately get under the water. And take an EVA report from the water. There we are. Can I get back in? Can I get back in? Doesn't look it. Sadly, I'm going to have to manually recover this vehicle in the Space Center. That right there is whopping 3 science, and Sonrad Kerbin gained an experience point. It's always good when your scientists gain experience. It's hard to gain experience for them. Recover this vehicle. And we gain another 4 science for that, and we get some of our money back. Not as much as I would have liked. I believe we've actually lost money. And I don't have enough to get General Rocketry, or General Construction for that matter. General Construction is really good because you get struts. Flight control is okay. It gives you, in KW Rocketry, it gives you fairings, which are very useful for making the top of your aircraft more stable. Also get you MechJeb, and that's a great tool if you have it installed. Also gives you your first probe body, the Staputnik, but I don't like using it because it doesn't have SAS. But the next thing I definitely want is the science one. I do want to get General Rocketry, but my first priority is to get this, science. Because it gives you access to batteries and the Science Junior, and the Science Junior is very good for generating science. Alright, let me go ahead and, where's the debris? There we are. Let's go ahead and just clear that off by recovering it. You don't get anything for recovering debris, but it, frees up clutter. Alright, so I did not test the parachute at the right height, which is unfortunate. Alright, so they want me to test this solid fuel booster in flight over Kerbin, which is fine. I can easily get to that height. Wait a minute, didn't I should have completed that. That's annoying. I gotta redo that flight because apparently I did not complete it. Alright. It won't tell me the missions here. You know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch this to 3x symmetry just to give me some extra lift. I'm zooming in by pressing plus on my keyboard. So I can select the decoupler. And X 3 times. Alright, let's try this again, except this time with a pilot. Jebediah, get on board! It's too heavy by 0.5 tons. On all honesty, I'm thinking about upgrading that because that 0.5, like 18 tons is definitely not enough. I just don't have enough money, of course. Again, getting money in this game is very annoying. How much do the goo containers weigh? I could shave a little bit off by getting rid of those. How much do each of these girders weigh? Shave a little bit by getting rid of those. Can I launch this now? Yes, I can. So yeah, this is purely a testing flight, unfortunately. It's going to be a little bit unstable at launch. T to toggle SAS. And the only thing I could do is crew reports, so I might as well make this flight count by doing all the things. I don't know why these days I forgot to take off this decouplers, whoa! But all the engines are still going, and that's what matters. Alright, so the mission is I need to be at 42,000 feet, which I was at. I don't get it. And testing this parachute, I need to be... I was at the right speed, I just wasn't at the right height. Alright. Alright. Did I complete this mission? I did. Deploy the parachute. The LV-909. Oh, I need to get up to a certain height. I need to get from 42,000 to 13,900. Can I do it? I deployed the parachute a little bit early, but I think I can. And boom, I did it. I did it. Alright, let me just see how high I can go. I don't want to go too high. You know what? I'm not going to go that high. Why is it telling me I didn't do it? I'm at way more than 13,000 meters now. Well, let me see about getting to the Highlands. I've got that drag behind me, but I don't care about that. I'm not trying to enter orbit or anything fancy like that, so let's go ahead and do this. I am falling, though. And, apparently the parachute's fired because I just went backward. Or did I lose one of the parachutes? I think I lost one of them. Oh, God. No, I didn't. They yanked on me for some reason. That was weird. I've never had them yank on me like that before. Go ahead and accelerate this because you don't need to see this. God. Okay, there we are. I have completed both these contracts. It showed us completed just a little bit ago. Do I need to crash land these things or something? Whoa! Oh god, I lost 2 of my parachutes because I was in time acceleration. I had no idea I was in time acceleration, so I have to kill my acceleration manually here, otherwise my engine will explode. I wasn't paying attention, honestly. Got it. Oh god, don't tip. Whew. I wasn't paying attention. That's what happens when you're going through time acceleration. When your parachutes fire, they will tear off. Oh, I don't have enough electricity. That's fine. Just recover the vehicle. And we gathered a small amount of science, got some money. He didn't get any experience. We completed a mission. Why did that second one still not complete? I completed everything. Okay, now it apparently says I wasn't even flying. I was flying. I went from 42,000 to 13,900, and I went between 80 meters per second, and I'm definitely not getting to 580 meters per second. Why did it all show? You know what? Forget it. I'll take the hit. Because at least with this other stuff, they're easy to understand. They want me to go for 22,000 meters now. Nah. Solid rocket booster. That's easy enough. I can get that very easily. And then come back down very easily. They want me to test the radial parachutes. I don't think I can do that. Alright, well, let's just do the next mission. And I don't know if I want to come back down with these things because they are really heavy. So, this time, because I don't plan on coming back with anything, let's get rid of this engine. Get rid of all of this. And because I plan on bringing this command module back, obviously, let's go ahead and add these back. Dealing with the friggin' weight restriction is going to be super annoying. Alright, so basically all I'm going to do is put in a girder here, which I should probably attach a decoupler to. Let's go with this one because it's lighter. Should have thought of that before. Could have replaced those decouplers on the bottom and still flown the entire thing. So basically, this will fire this off, and all I'm going to do is literally I'm going to put solid rocket booster, and where are my radial decouplers? There you are. We're just going to go ham. Well, not quite ham. I'm going to do a total of 5, 1 surrounded by 4. This thing is not going to turn, by the way. Because the LV, it doesn't have anything with decent thrust vectoring. Which is how you turn. So, yep, we're just going to fire all 5 of these at the same time. And that should easily get us our mission done. I forgot, these solid fuel boosters are heavy. So let's go ahead and switch this down to 3. Why is it not switching down to 3? Oh, because I grabbed the decouplers. Career mode restrictions are fun, aren't they? There we go. God, I hate career mode sometimes. Just getting the money for this is really annoying. Can I get any more science on the runway? No, definitely not worth resetting the goo for that. Because this might be enough to take me into a low orbit, honestly. My mission, I need to fly between 700... No, that's easy enough. Oh, God! Yeah, this thing is not going to turn right. I forgot to turn on stability assist. That was almost a fatal mistake. I don't think I can get anything from the goo here. That's a little bit more than I would have gotten on the ground. I would like to achieve Kerbin atmosphere in the high atmosphere. Whoa, I am going at Mach, because you see the effects of the Mach there? Wow, I went at 9,000 meters per second. Holy crap. I experienced re-entry effects. That is amazing. That's re-entry effects before going through re-entry. I should be in low atmosphere by now. Oh, I should probably do that. Apparently that wasn't enough, because I didn't get to the right altitude. I guess I have to fire the engine at that altitude. That's annoying. I could just redo this flight and honestly get it. Ooh, goo seems to be getting very cold now. And I could do a crew report from here, because I am in the upper atmosphere. Go ahead and send that back. I don't think I am going to be able to... Am I going to break the atmosphere? No, I'm not. If I was able to break the atmosphere, I would have gone on EVA, but... If I broke the atmosphere and got to like 70,000, I would have gone on EVA. That would have put me back in the atmosphere a little bit, and then I could have done an EVA report and a crew report from like, space near Kerbin. But anyway, let's go ahead and time accelerate back down there, because I have a feeling you guys don't want to watch this. We got about 5 minutes left in this episode. The last thing I think you guys want to watch is me getting back down to the ground, which you've seen already, so I'm going to actually cut this out. And we are touching down on the ground just off the runway of the spaceplane hangar. Can I do a crew report here? No, I cannot. But I could technically run over to the hangar and do a crew report, but I'm a little bit lazy right now. So let's just go ahead and take the science back and do wonderful things with it. 29 science! He did not gain experience very much, sadly. And I have 29 science now, which is not enough to get flight control, general construction, or science tech, but it is enough to get general rocketry, which gives you the LVT-54 liquid fuel engine, which is a very good engine for this stage of the game, and I will use it for a long time. You also get the KW Rocketry Wildcat, which has a bit more thrust, just not quite as much vectoring range, and it's slightly less fuel efficient. You also get the Vesta, which is a low thrust engine with very good vacuum ISP. ISP is your efficiency. And we also get the Rockamax fuel boosters, which are very powerful. They also burn for much longer. And because of a little bug, I have to go in and out of the tech tree, and that unlocks advanced rocketry, which gives you a whole bunch more stuff, including the friggin' globe engines. I love those things. And a couple other things, including the FT-800 fuel tanks, which are very useful. Alright. Apparently I did not get that mission either. So, I think I know why. It's because I didn't fire the engine at a certain point. So we are just going to try that again. I don't know if it auto-saved, honestly. So we're going to just see if it did. And, checking my Twitter message, it did indeed save. So what we're going to do is we're going to take Jebediah out there and put in Seabreed. And instead of firing the center engine right away, we're going to fire the center engine as those decouple, because then I should be able to do everything I need to. And then we can play around with our new stuff in the next episode, I think. Or I could show you, no, I'll probably do. I'll probably show you a build of what I might use in the next episode, assuming, of course, that it doesn't exceed the goddamn weight limit. So, let's just do this, Seabreed. You're a pilot, you get SAS, so let us go! Let us go so fast we experience re-entry effects upon entering the atmosphere. Upper atmosphere, from the bottom. It's pretty damn cool, honestly. We are already going at 250 meters per second, only 3,000 meters above the ground. That's incredible. Now, I doubt these will honestly reach 7,000 meters, except maybe through inertia. Aha, there it goes! And that is the solid fuel booster tested. Unfortunately, this might put me into orbit, honestly. Yeah, this thing just can't turn. It will not turn. Looks like I might be getting put into orbit here. I'm getting put into orbit. Holy crap. Please, please end, please end, please end! Oh, thank God. If I had gone any faster, I could have gotten to an escape velocity. Which, you know, you'd think would be good, but I have no way of getting this guy back, so I don't want to achieve escape velocity. That would be a bad thing. Let's get some free science there. No science to be had there. And we are in the upper atmosphere, but we are going extremely fast, so I'm going to wait until we're going to re-enter the atmosphere, and welcome to space! Crew report from space! Send that transmission. Observe the mystery goo. For 10 science. Woo! Now that we are floating in space, I can tell you a little bit more about things. Okay, so this is space. This is the map menu. We switch between maps by hitting M. And yeah, Kerbin is a 2-moon system with Mun as a high-gravity moon orbiting close, and Mimnus as a low-gravity moon orbiting far. And Kerbal Space Center is right along the equator, so if I had launched properly, I could have gotten into an equilateral orbit, which is basically an orbit around the equator. Now, I have a layman's knowledge of advanced physics, so I know logic parts of things and places. For example, the apoapse. A lot of people have no idea what the hell this thing is. And honestly, I don't either. I don't know the technical terminology for it. What I do know about it, though, it is the highest point in your orbit where if you are burning towards your current direction in space, that is your highest point in the orbit. It will increase. Likewise, if I had achieved an orbit, you would have seen a periapse somewhere over here. That is the low point of your orbit. And it's very possible to have the periapse will always be a smaller number than your apoapse. So if I had a periapse, it would be no larger than 193,165 meters. Otherwise, they'd start flipping themselves around. Basically, in order to achieve orbit around Kerbin, you want to be going at 72,000 meters for your apoapse and periapse, because the Kerbin atmosphere is ended at 7,000. Now, you have to be careful because your orbit can decay slightly, and you can get thrown back into re-entry just by the pools. So, you have to be very careful about that sort of stuff. Whew. Anyway, in order to achieve orbit, if I wanted to, and I had the fuel to, I would want to burn at the apoapse prograde, which is away from the decline and away from the low point, basically. It's away from and toward the low point, if you get the idea. It's hard to explain in layman's terms. It's even harder to explain in actual physics terms. But basically, if you burn prograde, you will increase your periapse and very slightly decrease your apoapse until they form an orbit. Likewise, if you burn retrograde, you lower your apoapse and very slightly increase your periapse. So basically, if I wanted to burn prograde, I'd want to point backward along my orbit. So I should be facing backward now, which I am. That is backward. And if I wanted to burn prograde, I would burn in this direction, which is forward along my current orbit. Which, as you can see, is forward along my current orbit. That's the direction I'm moving. Now, there's also things called normal, anti-normal, radial, and anti-radial. This right here is anti-normal. It's basically low. So if I wanted to push this orbit downwards on this end and upward on this end, this is the direction I would burn in. That's how I would achieve an actual equilateral orbit. Likewise, if I point directly up, that is a normal burn. That would push this end of my orbit up and this end of my orbit down. So if I wanted to achieve a polar orbit, that's what I would do. A polar orbit is where you orbit around the poles. Now, radial is if you burn outwards away from everything. For example, right here. As you can see, I'm pointing out into deep space right now. What this would do is it would burn me out this way, which would increase the sides of my orbit while not increasing this. So this end would go out, this end would go out, and this end would stay the same. Meanwhile, if you went anti-radial, the other way, it would also expand in both those directions. However, depending on which way you point, they'll expand more in one direction than the other. So, enough with the physics lesson. I am in the low point of my orbit now. Let's see. Can I... Nope, space near Kerbin. Alright, so before you do this next thing, you want to hit F5. That's your quick save. I can't go on EVA. I forgot I need an astronaut complex, which is really annoying. But if you go on EVA in space, you actually gain a lot of science. So, we're going to time accelerate back down since there's not much more we can do. And once we hit atmosphere, I'm going to EVA with my... I can't. I have to be on the ground. Crap. That's annoying. I could have gotten so much science by EVAing right there. But anyway, we are just going to time accelerate back all the way down until we start experiencing re-entry effects, because this is the first time you'll see them in the actual atmosphere. Don't deploy your parachute yet. There's a very real chance the re-entry effects will burn it off, even without actual re-entry effects in the game. See, right now, because the bottom is unshielded, Sea Breach should be fried. But luckily, re-entry effects aren't in this game yet. And now we're experiencing Mach effects, because we went in very fast. So let's go ahead and deploy the parachute. just to slow me down a little bit so that when my parachute eventually does actually deploy, it doesn't rip the spacecraft apart. Which I don't think it would anyway, but you can never be too safe. Pretty sure I just saw my screen flicker. Anyway, since you're going at sea level, and my parachute's set for 500 meters, I can accelerate, and now not. You always want to make sure, depending on where your height is, that you come out of time acceleration in a timely fashion, otherwise things will die, and it will not be a happy time for you. It could be fun to watch your Kerbal drown in the ocean amid a wreckage of mystery goo, electronics, and hardened casings to prevent overheat, but I don't think I'd like that. Let's go ahead and accelerate a little bit. We're going at 7.1 meters per second, which is far more than this thing is rated to extend, far less rather. And I did not get a crew report from there yet. Alright, let's go ahead and go on EVA. Get a crew report. And for some odd reason, I can not... Oh yeah, I forgot. I would be able to take a surface sample here if I had upgraded R&D. Why am I not boarding? Oh, it's because I was hitting D. Alright, let's recover this vessel. I will show me getting science and tell you what to expect in the next episode. 42 science! And I still don't have a ton of money, but Seabird gained experience, which is just fantastic. Alright, we only got 900 money from that. That's great. Alright, we can orbit Kerbin. I should have taken the mission to escape the atmosphere. That's a waste of money right there. You have radio decouplers, rocket max salt, fuel booster, orbiting Kerbin. Not gonna do that. A launch stability enhancer. That's easy enough. Radio mount parachute, fuel engine, liquid fuel engine, and visual surveys. I don't think I can actually achieve orbit, honestly, because I just don't have the mass I need. I mean, I probably could do it, it'd just be very difficult. And now with some of this stuff, I could definitely do it. If I added struts, I could also do it. I could definitely get into orbit if I used a probe as opposed to a cockpit, because you take a look, the probe's mass is 0.5, and the command pod is 0.85, so it's a lot lighter. But I'm going to go with science tech, because it gets you batteries, it gets you advanced satellites, gets you some stuff from Near Future Tech, which is another set of mods I've installed, which I'm not going to use. It also gets you the Science Junior. I'm missing 3 science. The easy way to do that, because I have yet to do this on the runway yet. And, let's see. Everyone except Bill has some experience, so let's go with Bill. You're going to be flying, quote-unquote. Sorry about the cough. Alright, let's go ahead and get a crew report from the runway. Thank you for the free science. EVA report. Oh yeah, I forgot. That's in the... That is not... come on. Over the runway. There we are. EVA report. Come on. And that should be enough science, so I just need to get back in there. Alright, I should have 45 science now. For some reason, I thought that node was 40. Yep, 46. And he gained experience from that little excursion. And we can now get this, which is incredible. Science Junior! I will be taking that on every flight from now on. And that one opens up these trees. Landing, which is not very useful unless you're flying spaceplanes. Space exploration, which is very good because it gets you the thermometer. And electrics, which gets you solar panels and batteries. Electrics is very useful. So yeah, just to showcase this, I'm going to go ahead and show you the Science Junior, and then I'll call it an episode. We're just going to throw a command module with a Science Junior on it. Cost me, what was it, $14.80? And we are going to bring Bob Kerman along because he is our scientist. And he technically doesn't give us anything in terms of boost, but... Anyway, you just observe the materials bay, and if you're in a biome, it gets you science, and this gives you 7.5 science, so it does give you a very good amount of science, so you always want to make sure to do that. Let's go ahead and recover the vessel. I'll be surprised if he gets any experience from this, honestly. And, we recovered the entire of that, so we did not lose any money. And no experience gain. So, anyway, in the next episode, we are going to try to orbit Kerbin with the pitiful amount of stuff that we have available, I could increase the launch pad, because it could get me vehicles up to 140 tons, which is very useful. Alright, launch stability enhancer. I should have used that, honestly. I don't think I'll be going for... Yeah, I don't think I'll be going for... English, please. Help me in the situation. I don't think I will be going for orbit yet. However, I will try to do one of these missions. Inflate. Stack decoupler. Yeah, I can easily do that. But I have to be going 350 meters per second. Anyway, I will do those missions in the next episode. I don't believe I have enough science to start up anything. Huh. You know, I could do this. Yeah, I could do that. I could spend 96 of my reputation to get 7.3 funds per point of reputation. Let's go ahead and do the calculation real fast. 7.3 funds, and let's say a mission gives me 10. Only 73 money. That's not nearly as worth it as, say, the unpaid research program. Outsourced R&D would be good, but I really need the money. And, that takes... Now, I don't want to pay for reputation, thank you. I also don't want to pay science for reputation. Sorry. Damn. Alright, anyway. So I'm going to end this episode here. Probably record another one right away, depending if my friggin' file sizes aren't too big because of fraps. And hopefully in the next episode we will achieve orbit, which I probably should have already achieved in this episode, but I've been mucking around because... Honestly, I probably should have started with enough money to immediately upgrade the launch pad and R&D, because, Jesus Christ, 480? 408? That's just too much. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next episode. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave me a comment, guys, and make sure to leave me a like, too, because, you know, it helps. And I will see you guys next time. I'll try not to steal any more people's outros, but I'm going to do it anyway, because I like it.